Hi, good afternoon, Daffy. Hello.
Hi, Ivana. How are you doing? Good afternoon.
Very good. Something about hobby and something to monetize the hobby is always good. This topic.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So we had quite a number of people online now. We just want to do a sound check before we continue. For those of you who can hear us, can see us, please type in the chat box to let us know lah. You know, AV okay. I'm from where? Your location. Then at the same time, my hobby is what? Can you type in, let us know your hobby? So let us know if you can hear us, can see us. Those of you online, if you can hear us, can see us, type AV OK. Let us know where are you from. And then, well, shout out to us on your hobby. So, K Pang from KL. So your hobby? AV OK. Share with us your hobby. So, okay. My hobby is woodworking. Very interesting. Woodworking. Okay, good. So this session will be very suitable for those who really want to learn how to do what they love and also make some extra money. Okay. As Aliyah is from KLCC, logged in from KLCC. Her hobby is traveling. Oh, that's good. Jack from Penang, hobby is writing and photography. Wow, good. We have a variety of people here. So Daffy will be sharing with us very soon about how to monetize your hobby. So I'll pass the floor to Daffy. Daffy, I'll pass the floor to you. Okay.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon to everyone. And well, thank you for getting on the call. And thank you, Ivana, for arranging and completely making this possible. Yeah. So is it? Let me just. I know you all did a sound check. Let me just do my thingy and make sure that I'm sharing the screen correctly. Okay. So can everybody see this?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So yeah, for everybody who's online, let me just share a little bit about myself with you, and thank you. But this is the second time actually this year working with Ivana on bringing communities online and bringing communities a step forward in their mind and in their business, and of course in monetization. Yeah. My background is in technology, and I have monetized what at that time wasn't a hobby, but it was my education and learning. I monetized that by building several businesses, and the last one was almost a decade long in 2 countries. And along the way, I've discovered that I should monetize more of my hobby than my work, and what I really love to do. So I'd like to share with you, if that's okay. I'm just going to play a very short video which I made myself. It was a bit of a learning hobby as well, but I'd like to just share a little bit of what I do with companies, corporates, and organizations, focusing on the area of entrepreneurism and leadership. Yeah, so I'm just going to share a little bit of my work with you guys.
I see the video. Sorry.
Okay, I hope you guys could see that. I heard somebody say you can't see that.
No, it's a bit lagging. With the music, it's a bit lagging. But wow, something about doing video is also my hobby, and then I noticed that to do a short, maybe 1 minute video, it might take a few hours editing. So you really need to be passionate about right video.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
With a short few minutes video. So thanks for
Yeah,
sharing.
and suddenly, you also, yeah, I discovered that 5 seconds in a video is actually quite long. 5 seconds in a video is quite long. So yeah, that was just about 40 seconds. And so it's a bit of a hobby that I'm kind of learning to put together. And I use very simple apps. I use just to share with everyone online that, these things don't necessarily need to be very, 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 very complicated, and it doesn't need to be very, very, elaborate. So all those pictures that you saw came at a time. I took those pictures was just at an event, and with all these traveling. At that time, I was very, very focused on just building up my communities in social entrepreneurship and in speaking. So then I realized that actually my hobby can have little things which is not hard to put together, and one of them was coming up with that little video. So yeah, just to share with you guys, the reason why I bring this up is because of, in the world of trying to bring up our main hobby, the one that we want to monetize, we need a few additional skills. So I know that everybody has got probably a primary hobby, and last Sunday, just this recent Sunday, I did a workshop preview, just like what I'm doing with you guys right now. And in this preview, there were a lot of people who had different hobbies. But one of the key themes of hobbies was really traveling. And a lot of people said they love traveling, and but they wanted to monetize that. Okay, so I'm just going to share with you some of these bits as we kind of go down the line. Yeah. I want to here at this point just let everybody sit back and really think a little bit that sometimes hobbies are not very small things. Hobbies are actually very, very important, because I realize that most of us when we grow up, we are given the idea that we work for money. But I want to point out that actually people who pursued their hobbies, in most cases, they were the ones who changed the world. The Wright brothers, Facebook, we all don't need to say it was just a hobby when he started it as a bit of a project and for fun. The word fun comes in. So I've listed some, and I'm sure you guys have some. I'd like to point out the Wright brothers. The Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur Wright, were the guys who created aeroplanes. And they're known as what? Their primary job were farmers. They were farmers. The whole family was farmers. And in those days, it's multiple generations that people are farmers. They cannot just go to school and decide to become an engineer tomorrow if your father was a farmer. So, it was a family thing. But they pursued a hobby of building aeroplanes and trying to fly and jumping off the barn, jumping off some higher, things and trying to fly. And today, we've got aeroplanes. So there are some massive hobbies. Thomas Edison, the guy who was toying around with electricity and light and things like that. So yeah, the hobbies that changed our world was actually very, very interesting that it all started as a hobby, I believe, yeah? And today we look at them and we say, wow, great examples. Now, the message to you is that how far do you want to take your hobby? I encourage people to monetize their hobbies, because you never know where it's going to take you. So the first one, that I think really captured my own mind, and this guy, this young man, in 2011, he was 9 years old. Now he's just about 13, 14 years old. He has been on Shark Tank. If you know what Shark Tank is, I'm fascinated. People come to pitch on Shark Tank for funding, for investorship. And, it all started as a bit of a hobby, just making some bow ties because he felt good. And the thing that touched me the most is that his business is already big enough that in a particular season, in Thanksgiving, He makes bow ties to sell during Thanksgiving season, and every bow tie sold, the proceeds are donated for underprivileged children's education, something along those lines. So, you know, it's just a hobby, but at 14 years old, he has a Shark Tank investor who is helping him grow this to become a huge business. And also, obviously, he's got funding now to grow the business. So a lot of people who make crafts, and I've seen so many, you know, you go to people's house. There was this lady who actually makes jewelry, and so she takes some stones and then she makes all those, you know, she makes all those thing into pendants. Yeah, she does the metal and all of that. And I said, hey, why don't you, you know, do more, put it a bit online, you know, kind of market it a little bit more. And she looks at me and she says, oh, but so many people are doing it. And I felt that, you know, if she took a minute or took a few moments to educate herself on how to create a business, I think she'd have much more opportunity, right? So what he did, this guy, Mosiah Bridges, he sold his bow ties on an e-platform. It's called Etsy.com. Yeah. And there's plenty. There's the Alibabas, there's, you know, the Amazons, there's the eBays, right? So one of the things that you can do is to put stuff online. Now, a lot of people probably put stuff on one or two sites and then they stop. Probably, you know, there's an opportunity in the beginning for you to put them on a lot of sites because you don't know which site has the kind of buyers that's going to be looking for the kind of things that you want. Depending on how people market their sites, then you are actually tapping on the market space that they are marketing to. Okay? So, you know, there'll be different sites. It may or may not be Etsy for you. Malaysia, we've got Jual-Beli, we've got, you know, a few other local sites, lelong.com and so on and so forth. And although they have different segments, you know, they've got automotive, they've got crafts, they've got baking, and they've got a variety of things. You want to choose a site that has a greater emphasis in finding the kind of customers who look for the range of things that you sell. A person who's looking for automotive would go to more automotive marketed sites. Okay? So yeah, if you're doing crafts, if you're making things, you know, by hand or tooling or whatever, find the right site for you. The one that works for baking may not work for engineering, like, you know, you make watches or you make some small devices or electronic clocks or whatever. So you want to test out and find out what works for you. Yeah? And here's the second one, because in the, you know, on Sunday as well, there was this lady who said, you know, that her two sons, 14 years old and I think 17 or 18, and they love to play computer games. So it so happened I brought up this site, this information, and I said, look, you know, 2 million in a year. This is esports rankings, and it's, you know, pretty real time. And she said, oh, is this real? Real, man? You know, I want them to pursue their studies. Then I asked another question. You know, I said, hey, how many of us working or doing a small business have an opportunity to make 2 million US dollars a year? And how much fun do we have compared to these people who are just passionately playing games and making that money? And she was shocked. And she said, really, is this true? Then I just showed her a little bit more. Within the top 100 ranking, we've got two Malaysians. That's what the names are. On the left is their names that they use for the game, their nicknames, and how much money that they are making in a year. So gaming has become, you know, something that parents don't understand, and you know that kids seem to gravitate to. So the top 100 players, you know, aside from 2 million and number 36, you're making 500,000 US dollars just having fun playing games. So yeah, you know, I don't know how many people here who might have kids in their late teens, and this is different. Because in the old days, it's easy to tell children, just educate yourself, go to school, get your degree. But today, I think, how we educate, how people educate the next generation has become more complicated. So the mother used to say, after the session, she came to me and she said,